I have worked for 3 decades in public education. For a while, the media was saying, is your child ADHD? Join this group, read up on it. Oh my God, if you just gave them this pill, everything would be all right. So a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon and they thought, oh my gosh, my child is not having trouble in school, they're not focusing. Let's get this solved. Oh my gosh, doctor, can we have the pill? And the teachers were kind of buying into that as well, because they're also human beings and they're also being influenced by the media. And they were saying, oh my gosh, it's so disruptive to have this kid in my class. Maybe they have ADHD. And then they would mention it to the parent, who would grab onto that idea and think, oh, that's probably it. I can solve this with a pill. And it is an easy way to solve it, because in fact, once a child is medicated for ADHD, their personality does change, and they're quiet. They're very quiet. And this is a child that originally was buoyant and jumping around and hard to focus and looking around, and suddenly they're still. And for many people, that seemed like we've solved the problem. But as everything else, there's unforeseen consequences when you try to solve problems, whatever the problems are. And the consequences here is you're drugging a child, and you're stripping them of their spirit when they go from being a free thinker looking at the trees or even trying to solve their emotional problem to totally focused. You've taken something away from that growing child's spirit, and I hope they can get it back.
We are giving very powerful endocrine disruptors, and in some cases true neurotoxins, to children when their nervous systems are at their most vulnerable point of development.
You're picking a point of intervention that is, I want to say, potentially tremendously problematic, because we don't know much about the brain. We don't know about most neurotransmitters. We don't know about the various combinations of neurotransmitters. So we're moving into an area that we know little about. And bottom line is we actually probably ought not to do that at all.
So the doctor, put her on Wellbutrin, and she developed stomach problems. Would say that her stomach was upset all the time, and she wasn't eating even, at that point very much. And so he added another drug to her later on, which was called a fixer. And the fixer made Shayna more hyper. She'd be up at 2 or 3 in the morning watching television. And with the side effects, we'd taken Shayna back to the doctor and refused to have her on those drugs anymore. So the doctor decided to try Decipermine on her. I questioned the doctor about Ritalin, Adderall, Dexedrine, and things like this. And the doctor told me that Decipermine was a better choice of drug because it had fewer side effects and less potential for abuse.